Happy Thursday! And how are you, my lovely lot? I can't remember the last time I actually spoke to you, and I know that I said that I wasn't going to do it about the whole, oh, I've not been filming much and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, to be honest, I'm actually not that bothered that I haven't been. You know, life gets in the way sometimes. And I've had a bit of a hard week, I'm not going to lie, but we're not going to get into it because I want positivity here on my channel. And I know that when I look back on these vlogs, and I will remember exactly why it was a hard week. And I don't need to say it, quite frankly. Oh gosh, I've just dropped so many batteries in my lap. I am packing because I'm doing my first LARP since 2023 when I did the, oh no, actually it wasn't the cryptid ones. It was the one that I'll put a little link here for the cryptid one, which is like super, super fun. But I will then put another link, and I'm talking slowly so that the links go past each other. I will put another link here for just like I did like a recap of my June or something, and within that June I mentioned that I went to a LARP. But yeah, so June 2023 was the last time that I actually properly LARPed. But if you have been following the channel, you will know that I have been sort of helping out, like I use that term really loosely, with a couple of photo shoots or whatever with for Menhirs Fate, which to this day I still don't know how to pronounce properly. I think it is Menhirs. Menhirs? I don't know. This weekend, so starting tomorrow, it is actually starting. So I know people are there already today. And, you know, we were umming and ahhing about whether or not we wanted to go up on Thursday, because when we used to go to Empire, the royal we is me and Sophie, of course. When we used to go to Empire, we used to go up on the Thursdays. However, that campsite was like almost 3 hours away, more or less, like 2.5, 3 hours away. This is only an hour away. So we were actually like, there's actually no point. And we're not camping in character. If you don't know LARP, a lot of these terms, I mean, they make sense, but you know, you can camp in character where you have to have like a canvas tent and all your set dressing to make it look like, let's say, the medieval times, for lack of a better quick way of explaining, or you camp out of character, which is basically just bog standard tent, and you can do what you want and you can be on your phones and stuff like that. So we are choosing out of character camping just for the ease. We used to do in character camping, but it was, my gosh, the stress of looking after a canvas tent. I don't want to do that again. Maybe one day if I had like a better place to keep it and store it and dry it and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, for now, no. So I've tried on my outfit this evening. I'm not 100% feeling it. I have basically repurposed an old Cersei Lannister cosplay. And I think it's obvious. Like, I've tried to make it not so obvious, but I think it is obvious. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. I sort of did this all a bit last minute. I didn't realise that April had come around so quickly, quite frankly. So, yeah, I'm a little bit... How has this happened? How are we already here? There's a next event in May. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to it yet, because obviously we want to see how fun this weekend is. But if there is, and if I do go to another one, whether it be May or whether it be the other ones, I am thinking of getting a new dress. It's the dress specifically that is upsetting me. And I've seen one online that I like, because I can't make stuff. However, my bucket list bingo did say that I have to make a cosplay from scratch. And even though it's not a cosplay, it's a costume, it still counts. Because I think I always said, you know, it was costume, cosplay, dress, whatever. But we shall see. So anyway, I'm now just making sure, so that so in this box is all of my sort of outfit. I thought I'd leave that all together. I've then got a suitcase for sort of like nighttime stuff, and I'm also just putting in like torches and stuff. I've bought new batteries because I got this from Empire for fake money ages ago. It's like a little crystal light, and I thought, well, that surely would be okay at Menhirs Fate. It's meant to sort of be innkeeping. It's kind of magic-y, I guess, just so that I can see when I'm walking around. Hopefully they've lit it, but who knows. And yeah, then I've got things like my swords, my foam swords and everything. So yeah, there we go. I've got a new pump. I need to charge that up as well for my bed. I've got my bed stuff. I think I put it over there. No, it's in the garden. It's in the garden, but you know what? It's not going to rain, so it's fine. It's out there. So this is me for the evening. I'm hoping to get this done. It's like 7:45 now. So I'm hoping I can just get this done in the next 15 minutes. So I'm all packed and I know that I've got everything that I need. I've got so many socks, because when you think you've got enough socks, you don't have enough socks. I'm worried about the boots that I'm wearing, so I'm going to take my other boots as well, just in case I need to swap them out. And then after that, I think I might chill, maybe have a little bath bomb in the bath. So tomorrow it can just be chill and easy. We haven't planned what time we're leaving yet tomorrow. But as I said, it's only an hour away. So, and I don't think the thing actually starts until 6. So obviously we're going to want to get there quick enough to put everything up, chill for a bit, maybe have a little explore, and then also obviously get ready, like getting our costumes and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. But golly gee, it has been a very long time since I have gone to LARP, and especially a big one like this. So I hope, because it's new, that I get to meet new people and we can like form stories and bonds and friendship together. Like, I don't know, is that utopia? I don't know. Because last time I was told there was about like 700 people who had bought tickets. It could be way more than that. It could be like 800, 900 now. And obviously there's like, I think 9 nations. So like, imagine that's all split up. That's not like 100 people per nation. That's not a lot of people. If it's split up evenly, obviously it won't be, but you know what I'm saying? So it would just be really nice to, you know, form a little group, make new friends, meet new faces, learn new things, and go from there, really. So yeah, I don't know what this blog can hold. Like, I can show you, because obviously a lot of it will be in character and I can't have my phone out. But I will do the best I can and report back to you as often as I can. I hate packing. Happy Friday. I'm looking a little bit worse for wear. I just had a shower and then I couldn't be bothered to straighten my hair because it's going under a wiggle weekend. But anyway, this is what we are dealing with. So I've got to get all of this into my car, and I don't have the biggest car either. So we've got this boot space, and then obviously the back seat. Now I was debating putting the chairs down. That probably would be better, but I also feel like I could get more in without. I'm gonna give it a go. I mean, as soon as I get to Sophie's, we're probably gonna have to rearrange anyway. But yeah, this is the fun part of LARP. And I've been very slow this morning, so now I'm on a time crunch and now I'm stressing, but it's okay, it's all good. We're all good. All right, so I've got LARP stuff, suitcase stuff, little inflatable airbeddy thing, blanket, and actual airbed. Now, I'm thinking the big thing can go here, and that's not too bad. It fits, yes! So the 2 camp chairs are squidged there, and I've got my sleeping bag here. The only thing that I think is going to cause an issue is now really the table, because the tent can just go on the back seat and Sophie can fit her stuff around it, but the table is going to cause the issue where this is where I might have to now put the seats down, probably because of the table, and just have it flat along them, but for now we will see. Okay, that is actually everything. And so big old gap here for all of Sophie's stuff, which based on what she's got, I think that should be fine. If not, we can stack bits there. We can also always take this off and leave it at her house, and obviously put more here, or put the seats down if we need to. But I'm actually really impressed with that. Check me out. I'm an hour later than I wanted to be, but I'm on my way to get Sophie. So about 25 minutes to her house, and then I think it's about an hour and a half to site. So probably pushing to about 3 o'clock or something, an hour later than we wanted to be. But you know, the thing is, the sun is shining, and you know, we'll have plenty of time, so it's gonna be good. And even if we are a little bit late, you know, it happens. It's not the end of the world. Let's get to Sophie's. Look at that, a hair change. I forgot my bag of food and drink and everything like that, so I had to go all the way home and then come back, and I added 10 minutes onto the journey. But we are at Sophie's now, and we're gonna get stuff in the car. Let's go. Look at that. We got it in, and I can see out the back. Like, I mean, that angle, it looks like I can't see anything, but now I can. Like, it's just the top of the tent that we have left on top, because we had a big thing where we kept on forgetting to, basically we'd put the tent in first, because the tent was like the biggest, bulkiest thing. So we always put the tent in first, and then obviously it got to like, you know, unpacking the car, and we were like, oh.
I won't make the mistake of putting it on the other side where the food is. And
oh no, now I can't see out the back. I was just saying how good it was. It's all right, just like put it over there.
No, it's fine. I'll just shove it into this little gap.
I'm being so picky. But yeah, we used to put the tent in first. And then we get to the time where we would have to obviously like unpack everything, and we'd be like, oh, we've got nowhere to put all of our stuff. And especially if it was raining and we had to get all of our stuff out in the wet to then put the tent up, because we put the tent in the car first. And I was just lamenting. It's
how we used to do it, yeah.
So now this is why we're like, right, tent in where we can get it, tent goes up first.
Yep.
So I've got Sophie, the car is packed, the traffic is probably gonna be shit, but it's about an hour and a half, I think, actually, rather than about an hour.
Yeah.
We are on our way, and we'll see you when we get there. Okay. We are on the approach.
And then it vibrates wood, so it's probably us.
That might be us. just flashed by at the corner.
I think we're going up here.
Menhirs Fate!
Oh, we found it!
Does it actually say it? That was going really fast. This
I wanted to get on my
is
arse.
our event. Whee!
And there's no other cars here, so it's so late. It feels like we're late.
No, we're perfectly on time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a beautiful open field, lovely sky.
Yeah,
it's
very
so
blue.
Now I'm rally driving.
It's just a bumpy road.
We've seen the most exciting thing ever, and it's cars. Not these ones.
I wonder if these are people
Maybe
living their daily life or
just living.
just living. Look, we can get a shed.
Do you want a shed? This is where you go to get your sheds. I don't think I can get a decent enough swoop through this like hedgerow, but we are coming up on it fast. We've got 2 minutes.
Sorry, I'm trying not to be a race driver.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Look, I have to go 30. I've got a choice.
I was gonna say I don't have your speedo in in the frame. You can do what you want. This is a really pretty place, though. Look at this field. There's so many trees in the way of this field. But yeah, it's beautiful.
Where? At the end here?
I assume so.
I feel like they should have put that there.
Maybe that was there.
Slow event traffic. Okay.
That's us. We're slow event.
Okay, and it's then at the end of here, but this is obviously just a road, so we might need to. It might be a bit beforehand. It might be a bit after.
All right.
I think it's a pretty big house.
Gorgeous little place. We should just move here. I see a yellow sign. Several yellow signs.
Yeah. Okay. So event. Yep. Delays possible. Slow traffic. Menhirs Fate event traffic.
To the right. To the right.
Oh, well, literally where this is.
Woo! And there's a person. Here we go. So this is the in character. No, out of character. Hang on. Let's do that again. So, oh, look at the lights. There's like lights that go all the way across.
We can actually see where we are.
This is amazing. So this is, yeah, the out of character camping with a few like in character looking tents, but you know, they obviously just didn't want to camp and everything. But yeah, so we have now, so our car is over there at the very end. So we're going to put the tent up somehow, and then and then we're going to empty the car. Fun for us. This is where we've got to currently. So we've put the poles through. They're sort of fed in at the end there. So now we have to hoist it up essentially. So this is the pole. We need to hoist it into a part there, which is terrifying because it always feels like the poles are going to snap. But we've got this. We've got the tent up and then going inside so we can stand, which is really nice. Then we've got my room and we've got Sophie's room. We've got a little window, almost like a skylight. So, and now we are bringing all the stuff over. So we are beginning to get ready, hence my hair is back up again. I've changed into something. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm wearing. This is like the awful part. Look, there's this random hole, but I will be wearing braces on this arm, I think. Sophie's doing her makeup. It's quite comfortable in our little tent. It's a very lovely temperature. There's a nice breeze that's coming through. We could probably get a bigger breeze as well if we open the little window sort of panel, but we're not going to. So putting on my face, it is about 5 o'clock. So we're going to aim to sort of maybe finish in the next half hour, get down to where we need to go for about 1:45, and then be there for when it's timing at 6. And then you probably won't hear from me until later, but I will film what I can when I can. Ta-da! There we are. We have Sophie. And she is Ash of, what is it? Ashlyn.
Ashlyn.
This is
yes.
Ashlyn of Valdreas. Ta-da!
And now we have Isolde, also of Valdreas. Isolde. She's old?
It's old.
Oh shit, she's old.
Yeah.
Beautiful, stunning, stylish. Yes.
We went for the wigs and now we just don't know whether or not we should.
No, I think this is a great shout. I'm warm. I'm like the perfect
Yeah,
temperature
yeah.
right now.
We're heading to, oh, the sun's right behind us. We're heading to the area where...
To the event.
To the event, yeah, we're heading to the event. It starts in about 10 minutes. And then that's when we can go get our like player packs and stuff. And I really need wee, so we've got to find where the toilets are, which with all of this, it is a little bit like, oh crap. Yeah, we should have done that first, because I kind of knew that I needed it. Where's the gap? Am I being blind?
There was a gap, right?
There was a gap. Is it that?
Is that the gap?
Okay, there was a gap in the fence, and now it's like suddenly there is no gap. It's very weird.
The game moved.
But I'll try, I'm hoping, no, I think it is this. I don't know, it does feel like it just moved. Oh, it was over there, wasn't it? Past these guys, actually? Yeah, where that guy's going. Okay, well, we'll find out. I'll try and also get all the in-character tents, like a shot for you as well, because I can see them through the trees and it looks cool. So anything that I can film, I will. That's the rule of the weekend. Here we go. There is so much wind. Fucking hell. It's so different to Empire, where obviously there would be different like regions. So I like it that it's all just out. It's just in a film. Queuing up to get our little passports, and there's like stuff on the wall over there.
I think they're infrastructure projects.
Oh, I see.
Now we know.
And then like a very tall tent. We have got some lovely food. We got it from this little stand over here. It's kind of like Mexican, but also kind of not. So, but yeah, so I got some chicken strips and some fries, which they lovingly put coriander on for me. And then we've got, what did you get?
A chicken tinker bowl.
A chicken tinker bowl. And some drinks and stuff. Looking a little
Windswept and
frazzled.
interesting.
So far we had to go on a bit of a wander because there was a situation with Sophie's ticket, which was handled brilliantly, and that was all sorted. We cannot go back to the sort of bank, which is where we get things from, because it's very busy and there's a lot of people in there at the moment. So but yeah, we've met some people, we've said hello to some people. It's been very fun. There are gods walking around, and also there was like a bit of skirmish or something going on, but we just walked away because we have no weapons. So, but yeah, now we're going to enjoy our food and then we're going to go back into the fray.
This is the worst thing, is that I'm only on one channel and I can hear people getting moved around to different channels all the time. So I'm like,
Go to channel 10?
it's just
No.
endless.
I am preparing for bed. So what else did we do? There was a lot of skirmishes. I also made a potion bowl, which is over there. I don't know where it is, but basically, so I've got this ominous lighting. My character is an apothecary and I can make elemental strike, which means that I can blast an element in someone's face if it's consumed, or somebody who consumes the potion can. And also I think she can also do like a healing potion. But yeah, anyway, so I'm cozy in bed. I've got thermals, fluffy pajamas, fluffy dressing gown, fluffy socks, and a fluffy blanket in my sleeping bag. So I'm hoping, like, I feel so much warmer now. I'm so cold, but I feel so warm now. I've also got these like air activated heat pads. I got like 10 of them. I've got like 8 left because I gave one to someone. And to be honest, it does feel warm. Yeah, it's not quite yet, but it will. So usually what happens whenever I go to LARP, my skin just gets like so dry. So I've obviously got my makeup removal, but I've also got my night, it's like Avon hydrating overnight mask or something. So I'm going to try and do that to help. And then I would recommend these to anyone. Colgate Wisps. If you are a LARPer and you don't have to faff around with like wetting your toothbrush, spitting out the tent door or whatever, literally for the weekend, just use these Colgate Wisps. They have like, I don't think I need to say not sponsored, but not sponsored. But yeah, they are just like a little toothbrush like this. Obviously, yes, the microplastic is annoying. But yeah, they're little toothbrush like this. They have toothpaste. There you go. Look, there. And you just brush, and you don't need to spit. So for like, just like what, 1, 2, 3, 4 times that I need to brush my teeth, doing this, you know, it's better than nothing, and it saves the hassle of like filling with water and stuff. So I'm going to do that. And then I feel like my bed is sinking already, so I'm probably going to end up on the floor this evening once it deflates fully again, because I've just pumped it up for the second time. Yeah, I'm then going to have a nice sleep and wake up in the morning and see what tomorrow brings. It was a very, very cold night and I'm on the floor. I thought I had removed all of my makeup as well, which clearly I had not. So we'll ignore that. But yes, my bed has deflated. But to be fair, that wasn't that uncomfortable because I've got a self-inflatable mattress underneath anyway. But yeah, it was freezing, absolutely cold. I don't really sleep much, but I have to say these are amazing. It's a air activated like heat pad or something. This is so warm even now because it lasts 20 hours. So warm. So this kind of helped me because I just held on to it, and I think having that warmth in my hands, I'm going to put a couple in my bag today, I think. Now I've got to get up and I just don't want to. But you gotta, that's the whole point. But I'm not rushing, so c'est la vie. I've had a change of outfit because my boots gave me really bad blisters yesterday, so I'm now wearing Sophie's Timberlands. And I just wanted, even though LARP stops at the foot, I just wanted to kind of cover it, you know, a little bit better and everything, because my leggings aren't exactly in character in my opinion. So I didn't want to wear the short skirt in the front and everything, so I've adapted as best we can. The reason I'm holding all my stuff like this is because I intend to go get a bag, because that is the one thing that I forgot, and this I'm hoping to trade for something else because it does not fit my thermos. So but first we're going to go to the medical tent because I really need blister patches, so we live and we learn. I'm perhaps looking a little bit worse for wear because the wind is wind sweeping, you know, there is a lot of it, so I've had to pin back my hair quite a bit. It is getting very cold, it is getting quite late. I mean, you can see the sunset happening behind me over there and the darker sky above. But let me show you my view because it's quite nice. I'm just stopping to have dinner, so let me show you my view. Look at this. Like, obviously we are away from it, so it's like through there, or whereabouts is it? Yeah, it's just over there. There's like a little entrance. There's also a way back there, which is the way we came this morning, but everything is happening over yonder. And this is my meal. I got a kid's meal. I got something called the OG dal, I think it was, or OG curry. It's like all vegan, gluten-free and such. This was £5, like just trying to give you an idea of kind of what things cost. But yeah, this was the kids meal, so this was £5. If you wanted the adult version, it was 10, and then there was one for 15. So yeah, we've had quite a good few meals. I think Sophie's got a burrito for this evening. I had cheesy chips a couple of times now. Yeah, all very good sellers and stuff. And I've got a thermos full of tea. I've got the heat pad. I'm going to turn it on in a minute. But yeah, we're just having a bit of a chill back at the tent, sort of a bit of a decompress. Sophie is going to go what is called monstering. So essentially every nation has to sort of like help out with being the monsters, whatever they may be. Or sometimes it's also doing non-com tasks, so non-combatant tasks. Because of my blisters, I can hardly walk around, so it's taking me like 20 minutes just to get anywhere. So I am foregoing doing that this evening, which is a shame, but it's fine. Like I've been told by multiple people that it's fine, and that obviously just need to relax. So yeah, sitting here for a little while, having some dinner, and then going back into the fray and seeing what I can do whilst Sophie is doing something else. So I've got a few invites from people, so it should be fine. But yeah, that's it for now. Sunday's always the hardest. Oh, my friend's on his way with a cup of tea. It's over. It is what, 3:04, 3:05, I don't know. There's some people still doing things and like, but it is over. It is officially time out now, so it's okay that I have my phone. But yeah, no, very good weekend. We'll do a proper wrap up in a minute. Got a little spot on my cheek. There's Sophie over there. And I'll do a quick swoop of everything, and we've got to pack down all the tent, pack the car, and then we'll probably talk at some point. This is the state of our tent. Don't judge the way we live. But yeah, we are now packing up and everything. Everybody around us is packing up as well. So we are, yeah, the fun stuff now. My face does look sunburned, even though I thought I'd put something on, but clearly I hadn't. We are at Sophie's house. So we're about to, yeah, I mean, that only took about an hour and a half. It took us a very weird way.
Yeah, scenic route.
Yeah, scenic route. I don't know, what even do we talk about? Because we've spoken of bits and pieces, I think, throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
But so I think let's do some like hots, I guess, which for me, it was just the whole organisation of the thing. Amazing from what we could tell from our side of things. The way that they got the cars in and out as well. The way that they had set everything up, to me, was very, very organised.
For me personally, the troubleshooting and problem solving was really, really good. Yeah. And nothing was too big of an ask for any of the crew at any point. Like,
yeah, everyone was so happy to help. Yeah,
anyone would happily point you. If they couldn't help you, they'd point you to who you needed to go to. So they were really, really good for that. Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah, there was a lot of like, you could tell that it was like everything was like personal to them, I think. And then
I also, like, I am like 50-50 about the place of the traders and the food.
Ooh,
because the traders tents are usually very in keeping of sort of the theme anyway, so they could have been so let me explain just for context. I think I showed anyway, but the traders and the food were in a separate area that was probably about a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk away from basically the main area. And versus say like Empire, which I'm gonna have to refer to Empire because that's the only big fest LARP that I have done. Obviously that was like more integrated and everything in, and so I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't know, I'm 50-50 about it. I liked it. I liked the food being separate in a way. I don't know, did I did, but I didn't. I like to have an area, an OC area to de-stress. I liked that. I did like having that area that I could just know that I could go there, sit there for half an hour, twiddle on my phone, and it's not going to offend anybody, especially because we were camping out of character. It meant that, you know, we wouldn't have to slog all the way back to the tent and stuff. So I did kind of like having that area, but not to say that you can just have hidden areas that are OC anyway. But I do think the traders, it would be better for them to be more integrated within the game, especially because they are in keeping.
Well, they're all selling appropriate nation kit as well. So they set up in huge white tents that are like, there was only maybe like 1 or 2 what you would class as gazebos perhaps that would need to be changed into something more like a canvas tent.
Sure.
But even then, if they could be given like a preferential pitch in the center ring. So it was sort of set out like the spokes on a wheel, where you had the guilds in the middle and then all of the nations coming off in spokes. I reckon at the front of each nation you could have had just
another
like an entire ring
of
traders that was just all
that would be
edge.
cool,
because that could also have been a really great way of demarking where each of the spokes started, because again, because it wasn't so heavily subscribed for its first event, the tents had been carefully put. They'd all been very mindfully put, but some of them were started really far back from the
really
front, or really far forward,
or like a bit to the left, a bit to the right, etc.
So, like the spokes of the wheel weren't quite where we thought they were going to be.
Yeah,
and I feel like
that would be a good.
It could have helped fill it up a lot more. There's tons of space. It wasn't like,
I suppose with the food as well. Like the food wasn't. It didn't look in keeping.
Wasn't in keeping,
However, if it could become in keeping, or if there is a way to do it, that would also be ideal, because at least then you don't have to feel like you're missing, you know, half an hour of the game or an hour of the game to go get the food. Yeah. And like, you know, it's actually part of the game now. And the thing is with Empire, obviously that has been going for years, and so people have created in character ways to get food and everything. Some people bring these massive big boilers, like camp stoves, and it's pretty amazing, or they obviously request electric and they get it, and so you know, it's really good. And obviously this is the very first game, so it's going to keep growing, and I think that especially if that is part of the feedback, they will look into it, because they are actually listening to the people, and you can tell that they are listening to people. I mean, we saw it firsthand. We know a bit of the crew. Obviously they were very good at keeping things that we didn't need to know, but we did, you know, we heard some things, and we heard them immediately talking about some feedback that they got and immediately working on fixing it. So
that's the thing as well, it's not necessarily something that has to be fixed for next event. I think it is something that, so long as there is a pipeline to say like, okay, we'll have a trial run, we'll get 4 of the biggest traders with the biggest pitches down the front, purely because they have the largest shop front, and see how people react to that. I do think they would struggle with the setup of them though, because they would have to choose which angle they want to have their shop front on. They couldn't have it just facing into the main town centre, because there wouldn't be any room for like walking around them. They'd have to be fronting almost a nation, and I think that's probably what they were trying to avoid by having traders on the main field, was that having them associated wrongly with a certain nation. But I think the foot traffic for the traders was probably worse than it would have been at somewhere like Empire, even if you compared numbers.
I do agree. And I think so. Continuing with the HOTS, so we mentioned the guilds. So there was like a big center thing. I think probably on the videos you've seen it with the sort of big brown teepees. So there was actually guilds. So there was Court of Daggers, which I think is kind of assassins, but you don't have to assassin people. There was like humiliation on there. I saw there was like, because there was bounties essentially, and there was one for just humiliating somebody, etc. So I'm imagining there are rules to it. We didn't go in there deep enough, but I imagine there's things to keep players happy. I'm assuming it's consensual PV, player versus player. Yes, that's what I think.
So people put themselves forward and they say, I'm happy to have I've got this contract against so and so, and I've double checked with them that they're okay.
Well,
with
I
it,
did
or
hear as well
they
that
will radio people and make sure everyone's okay.
There is a rule apparently that if you murder someone as well, you have to own up to that murder. You can't just be like, oh no, like I didn't murder them, etc. You actually have to own up to it because of like basically I heard some things that had happened at Empire, which meant that some people's player characters got like assassinated by the militia or something. But obviously the players were like, we actually didn't do this though, but their characters were gone, and so they got like free tickets from Empire or something. So you know,
if you complain to the right people, you get what you want, don't you?
But yeah, there was the Treasure Hunters Guild, which was like, we loved that. We loved going there. We went in there a few times. We got given a little quest and stuff to go find these little crowns and such. I don't want to say like too much, just in case it obviously carries on to like the next game, I guess.
Sure.
But, and then we were asked to set some people up for a meeting, etc. But that looks like that has got a real good growth, really good for non-combatants, etc.
And also low mobility as well. So what they were trying to do, because we got a little bit of like a behind the scenes towards the end of the day, and they're trying to set up skirmishes and outings away from the field that are specifically catered to certain groups. So it's not just a case of it's the first 20 that turn up. It's very much like, no, this is specifically for people with the mobility issues, or they want to be low or no combat.
So it's like high mobility, good for combat, high mobility, no comm, then low mobility, no combat, or something like that. But yeah, they're catering to everyone that they can, and that's really good. And also just the people in there were really fun, fun to talk to. Yeah, great to talk to.
Everyone was so friendly and had something positive to say and wanted to engage with you. There was no one that would ever like shrug you off and just be like, oh, more people to talk to. It was very much
another guild. I feel like there wasn't there? Because there was one in between them
and
Oh, Adventurers Guild. We didn't go in there either, did we?
No, because that was more like going out and fighting things.
Oh yeah,
like,
so
that was very much like we're going on an adventure, and that adventure requires a sword.
Yeah, and we can, but we don't really want to at the minute.
Yeah.
And then the other TP was then the Menhir itself, which was very beautiful, glowing and all sorts of humming. And then there was a bar.
Yeah,
and then around sort of like that, then if you're going in clockwise, then around that side, then there was like a 3 sort of like tents that had an apothecary and enchanters sort of thing. So if you've taken any of those skills, you can go and speak to them and they can teach you how to do things. I made a potion, which I don't think I've shown you actually, so that's a bit of a shame. Called the Gentle Touch, and it makes you feel lovey-dovey and cozy and homely and everything, whilst you then do a fireball in someone's face. And then enchanting, I haven't got into that yet. And then there was a forge, so an actual forge, working forge, bellows, like 200-year-old bellows they said that they were. And then there was a potter as well, using a kick wheel, and the pottery was incredible, absolutely incredible. And it was just things like this that made it so immersive as well, like having these little moments and such. And then just typically going around that, we went around the various different nations.
The bank as well.
Oh yes, there was the Bankers Guild, of course.
Oh,
the bank is really cool because you have your character passport, you get given your resources, whether it be money or spirit, etc. Obviously I'm saying things that if you've never been to a LARP or if you've never been to the specific LARP, you're going to be like, what on earth is this? I'm not going to bother explaining it to you. There is a Wikipedia link, I will put it down below so you can have a look at it. But yeah, it's things like flicker or essences, etc. But it's mostly money, and you get that at the beginning. You can withdraw what you want. You don't have to withdraw all of your money or all of your resources, and then at the end of it you can deposit it again, so you don't have to take it all home and you don't have to hoard it. Risk losing it. Or for example, Empire, I've got like 7 thrones sitting in a pouch at home and all these other resources, which obviously I thought I was going to go back to Empire. Now I'm sitting there thinking, how do I get it back to them? Because it is a waste of money if I don't. So I'm going to have to find a way to, maybe if I've got a friend who goes or something, I can just be like, here you go, which is not in the name of the game, but that was really cool. It was a good system. Everyone in there worked so hard as well. And it also helped us set up a task as well.
We've got a building.
Yeah, so do we talk about that, do you think? Like, can we talk about that?
We can explain the process of getting a building, maybe.
Yeah.
What we did. We had a proposition.
Yeah, so we're looking to build something. Yeah, I mean,
it's like beneath the abstraction. It's not like it's something that's going to turn up.
We won't see it. It's like something that will just be like on a map somewhere, or potentially on the Wikipedia page, etc. But it's obviously something that people can talk about in game, etc. So we want to build something.
Have effects actually for people in the area.
That's true.
Or people that go visit it.
We went to the Bankers Guild. We explained to the manager there what we wanted to build, and he basically set out 3 tiers of how we want to do it, and it involves getting signatures, it involves getting money, it involves getting loads of resources. But it gives us something to do, something to work towards. It's probably going to take us years to do it.
I think the goal would be by the end of this year to have got the first tier done. purely because there's so much high end resources that aren't really in the game at the moment, that are going to be very difficult to track down, or very difficult for us to convince people to part with.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's,
especially because it's fairly new and no one really knows what everything does yet. So yeah, I need to make something as part of being an enchanter, which I'm not an enchanter yet, but I'm hoping that I can change some of my skills, which I spoke to somebody and they said, look, you know, we think a lot of people are going to want to change skills after the first game. So there's going to be a thing that comes out. So I need to do a lot of enchanting, and that's going to include a lot of resources. Like we're talking about 25, 50, 10. It's going to be a lot, and I didn't come across anyone with any of that really, or somebody was trying to and offered me a really low ball.
They lowballed you so hard.
I'm glad I didn't give mine away now, because I'm going to need it.
1/7 of what it was worth.
So and I didn't take the offer, obviously, because I was like, I'm going to keep this just in case I need it, and lo and behold, I'm going to need it.
Oddly enough,
it just is really good. There is always something to do. There are skirmishes, there are, like, I think I mentioned that Sophie was like monstering and such. They have really made it so that, you know, you can find something to do. You can go and speak to an NPC or a thread, as they call it, which are basically, if you go to Empire, they're the egregores. If you don't go to either of those, they're basically your nation support. They are the people who you can go to if you have any problems, or, you know, you just need something to do. They can maybe find you something, or they can point you in a direction or something. But overall, I mean, I don't really have any knots. I don't have any knots. The wind, but that's not their fault. And the cold. I'm so cold at night. But that, you know, we got blisters. There was wind, and we got a little bit of sunburn, and it was fucking freezing at night. But that is things beyond their control. In terms of the event,
one tiny thing.
And
it's a central space for everyone to be.
Actually, yes.
In each nation.
I agree.
So because it was the first event, I think that they were trying to test the water to see how many people were going to come, and they didn't really want to put in too much beyond what they were putting in for literally everyone in the middle. So like with the guild halls and everything. But I really think, and this was something that we were sort of toying with over the course of the weekend, was that every nation should have a specific meeting point, like a place that is a fire pit, or that is undercover for people to congregate around, for those particularly that are camping out of character.
Which we were.
We turn up at our nation, everyone else is there in their lovely groups. Sure, everyone's welcoming and they're like, sit down, come.
But you feel a bit awkward after a while.
Doing that when they're not there.
Exactly. If you see the seats, if you see the seats there, fires are not left unattended, as you can imagine, or they should not be. But yeah, if the seats are there, but you don't just want to be like, I'm just going to perch here in this person's camp and stuff. But as I said, everyone is welcoming, but also there is that feeling of, after a while, you're a bit like taking the piss of their hospitality.
Are we encroaching?
Yeah, we felt we were okay over in another nation to ours, because one of our friends was the thread over there. So, you know, she basically forced us to plonk down and just be like, you sit there, and you keep warm by the fire. And we're like, okay. So it was fine. But obviously that meant that we're not spending time in our nation. So we're thinking.
Also at the end, we didn't get a little rundown like the other nations.
That's a shame. It seemed like every other nation, their threads were calling people around just before time out, and sort of being like, everyone gather around, and just having a little community chat, etc. And looking at and then Valdreas did not get that at all.
Apparently half of our forces were out on a skirmish though.
Which obviously must have overran.
Which clearly overran.
Which means they were having fun.
They were having fun,
but we
were
sadly
hanging around waiting. We were just like, do we?
Yeah, we were
like,
gonna
get one of these, or is
and so the game just kind of ended.
It was a bit of a.
Whereas then, as we were walking back to our tent, we saw that there were still quite a few of these little groups still happening, because they were just talking so much. And where we were going was past
Morpalis,
Portavas, and we heard them all cheering, and it was like a little group thing of just being like, we had a great weekend and all this sort of stuff, and we were like,
we did have a great weekend, but we had no one to yell about.
We didn't have like that community yet, but we've come up with some ideas. We're
things
thinking
that we can do.
We're thinking of getting like a little awning so that we have a place to sit, etc. And maybe just I don't know. We'll figure things out so that we can be a bit more included into our nation and go from there. So,
absolutely.
but I think central fire pit for each nation, it would be a good idea.
Especially in the neutral zone or the non-com zone.
The non-com
so they're never going to
zones,
get anyone fighting near it.
No.
And that could also really help with demarking the lines as to where.
Don't go near the fire pit and stuff. So that was basically our weekend. If I think of anything more, then when I get home, I will do another little spiel to the camera. And if Sophie thinks of anything more, she can message me and I can mention it.
I have brain empty.
Brain is fully empty. So we need to, speaking of empty the car into Sophie's house, and then get home and empty the car into my house.
Then get in the bath and then go to bed.
Get in the bath, yeah, that'd be great. So yeah, I think that this could be the end potentially, unless I think of something more, which I'll insert here. But this is the end. So thank you for joining us. Obviously, sorry we couldn't show any of the game, but that's the whole point of LARP. Phones don't exist. Yep. But hopefully it gave you a bit of a flavour, a taste. We would fully recommend it, especially if you're into LARPs and stuff. And if you're not into LARPs, I think it's very beginner friendly.
Get into it.
Get into it. It's great.
Yeah, the bar for kit and cost is not that high.
No.
You'd be surprised at what you can find for the right price. But yeah, I'd say give it a shot.
Give it a shot. So I think that's it. If you enjoyed this video or any of my videos, please like and subscribe. Check any of the things down below. I don't know what I'm putting down there, but have a look and hopefully catch you next time. Bye bye.